pretty good on the flight. I did not have to, there was an empty seat in the middle, so I had pretty much the side to myself in the window seat, and cramped spaces is not always ideal in flying, but it happens.
And into the mountains. I'm seeing snow. I'm seeing snow. Thank you, Mr. Beatty, again for your hospitality.
Oh, my pleasure. You guys have fun.
Oh, this is interesting.
Don't know yet. I haven't heard from him. He's got, one of my, let's see, Cody's
Super Duty F350 1-ton truck.
I'll talk to you later.
Going up to Montana. That's a big ass bridge. About to eat some salmon.
Hey, look at the seaplane.
I'm in Seattle and I'm watching a seaplane. I'm sure when we're going tomorrow there'll be deeper packs of snow. This is like nothing.
Oh, fuck yeah. This is like a dusting. Now, again, what you can see right now is about 2.5 acres. So there's double that.
Double that, yeah.
There, that blue-collared traveler. I am here in Seattle, Washington, in my beautiful Airbnb, which, if you don't know Airbnb, I suggest you find out what it is. It's a beautiful app that happens to have other owners, other people. I'm on Airbnb myself with my home, and you can rent it out and find some excellent deals. So, for example, I just woke up from a nap because my flight was at about 4:50 in the morning, and had a friend that I met out here. He owns his own trucking business. I just recently visited his beautiful 30-acre ranch with his 5 kids, but I chose to stay out in Seattle City rather than in the ranch area, and so I can explore a little bit. I'm about to go out because I'm getting a little hungry. There's my bed. I already broke it in, but it's for $54 a night. I could have picked a place that was about $37, but in this case had its own restroom and bathroom, and I believe the people upstairs own it, and you kind of walk downstairs. But Airbnb is probably, I recommend, one of the better apps to choose a place to stay if you're traveling in the traveling world. But it is not snowing, but there is snow outside, and I happen to pick one of the best times in the past 20 years where Seattle actually saw some snow, and they received about a 2 or 3 feet of snow in the past week or so. There's this huge polar vortex, they call it, going through the Midwest, even though Seattle, Washington, and Oregon are on the Pacific Northwest. Nonetheless, they received a storm not too long ago, and I'm from Los Angeles, so seeing snow in the urban area was a little bit new to me, because I don't see that very often. I usually see either rain, traffic, and just people honking at you. Anyway, so this room was inexpensive. I'm only staying one night. I'm actually driving from Seattle tomorrow morning through Idaho, and we will go through Wyoming and into Montana, and just visiting, driving in a beautiful F350 FX4. I'm a big fan of diesel engines, so he has his own, like I said, he has his own personal trucking business, and I got like emo hair. Look, I'm getting old. Look at my grays. But I'm glad I made the choice to travel and able to get out from the inner city of Los Angeles and just get away from all that nonsense of noise and California's politics, or just I don't swing either way, crazy left or crazy right. I'm like right in the middle, maybe just a little bit of conservative. That's kind of my view. But California is just so backwards in their politics. There's another discussion that has nothing to do with my traveling. But I needed to get away from the city life, even though I went to Seattle as another city life. How I can compare Seattle with other cities, from me being on the West Coast, it's like a San Francisco, beautiful atmosphere, crisp air, that northern air that I don't get in the South because I'm a Sun Belt dweller. Seattle was actually, minus the hill driving, if you ever been to San Francisco, it's got the bridges. It's got the it was what's awesome, which is Mercer Island. I've never explored some of that before, which is the high end of Seattle. That an island that sits in the middle of Lake Washington, but it's beautiful. I must comment that probably the best coffee I've ever had in a long time. I've never had, and I mean never, had 3 straight cups of coffee that I had at this particular. It was called, I don't know where the receipt is at. What did I eat at? It was this smoked salmon house that my friend took me to, and not to mention that the clam chowder and the smoked salmon was amazing, but the coffee was amazing. And we're not talking about Seattle's best or Starbucks, because Starbucks started out in Seattle, but this particular just the brew and the type of way that they brew the coffee, it was, oh my gosh, it tasted so good. Even with cream and sugar, just cream and sugar, you could drink it black. It tasted so good. So never ever have I ever had 3 straight cups of coffee like that, and I wasn't wired. It didn't make me go have the runs and take a shit, because sometimes, most of the time, Starbucks does that to me. It made me feel good, made me feel warm with some energy, and it woke me up a bit just to get those extra few hours to go see my friend's ranch. And then, of course, I came to my Airbnb and passed out. So, so far, I spent $54 on the Airbnb. The ranch, the smoked salmon was a little expensive. Actually, it was not expensive for a city, being a coastal port city. The salmon was very fresh. And it was like $23 for the plate with mashed potatoes and some spinach. The clam chowder I also got. Plus I paid for my friend. It was like $64 for 2 people. And we got very fantastic, very good meals. So far I'm at about $114 for the night. And I will probably be spending another $12 on dinner. And so about $124 for the night. It would have been a lot cheaper if I didn't pay for my friend, if it was solo by myself. Probably would have cut that in half to about maybe, not half, but maybe $80, because his meal was about like $30. Because he had clam chowder and some fish tacos, which is interesting enough. I'm from the South, Sun Belt, and he wanted some tacos, but I always eat tacos since I'm from Los Angeles. So I wanted some smoked salmon with lemon, and I got that. So that was some Northern Pacific Northwest food here in Seattle with some excellent coffee. Excellent, excellent coffee. I still feel good from that coffee. Anyway, I didn't get to see Mount Hood, and I believe there's some pictures here, just kind of like the Blue Angels, and Mount Helena, I think. I gotta Google that. I'm not too quite sure, but so there are 2 big mountains here. Obviously, Seattle has been having some overcast weather. It's always overcast, but lately rain and snow. So I didn't get to see it. So maybe tomorrow I'll see it. It's supposed to be little clearer skies tomorrow, and then it'll rain and snow again on Wednesday when I leave. So I came on good time weather, and I'll be leaving on good time weather. So, anyway. So that's kind of what I spent. That's where I'm at. I'm going to get something to eat because I'm hungry, and leave my room right now. Bye.